What's up, everybody? How is it going? It's me, Ann Richmond, aka Hearthsinger, the head bard in charge right here at Hearthsinger Games, and today I'm planning on getting my paint on with some miniature painting. What's up, Chiron? How are you guys? Who we got? Say, sound off in the channel. Let me know who's here today. We didn't paint last week, I think, because I was having some problems with my eyes, but I'm feeling pretty okay about things. As you can see, I've gone through a bit of a metamorphosis. Can we get a flourish of my hair? Sure. Oh yeah. Behold. Behold. Behold it in all of its glory. Yeah. Ariel did an awesome job. And I will be putting up a full video about the whole process, with highlights and kind of a description of everything we did next Wednesday. And tomorrow, I have another vlog going up on my channel, so there will be plenty to see from me about pre-hair Ann and post-hair Ann and all of that. Overall, it's kind of crazy. I feel just insanely refreshed. I had not... when Ariel and I sat down and did the math yesterday, we really... Oh, thanks, guys. I appreciate it. When Ariel and I sat down and did the math yesterday, we were like, holy shit, it's been about 9 months since I had done anything to my hair. One second. I'm sitting on my sweatshirt and it's not comfy. And we're in it for the long haul, so while we chat, I'm going to get started here just on the priming of this pupper. Now, this is a smaller dog. I'm getting it out of the way because I'm kind of tired, honestly, of painting the smaller ones. But I always loved Jack Russell Terriers. I've always loved them. Not to have, but because of Wishbone. Did anybody else watch Wishbone as a kid? I loved that show. What's the story, Wishbone? All right. So I'm going to paint on... Yeah, I am refreshed. You know, I just needed to cut my hair and dye it, you know. The first time I dyed my hair a crazy color, it was actually very close to this color. It was like a pink and purple ombre. And I loved it. And I remember the first time seeing myself with it, I was like, this is me, like the song. I was totally like, this is me. This is where I've been my whole life. And so watching my hair just kind of grow out and become a monstrosity over the last couple of months has been rough. What's up? Tired of painting the smaller ones? Hey, Painting Pirate. Guys, you should definitely go give Painting Pirate a follow because they have also been painting all the puppers and it's been really cool. They're a much better baser than I am, for sure. And their stuff has been coming out so fucking cool. And Painting Pirate is also the person who alerted me to the fact that I did not, in fact, have all of the puppers, and therefore has extended our puppy painting by a few more weeks, for sure. Congrats on being an affiliate now, Painting Pirate. That's so cool. I saw your post this morning. All right. So what I did to prepare this before priming was I always take my miniatures and I take a teeny tiny bit of toothpaste and a toothbrush and I give them a good clean. And then let it dry, obviously, before you start to paint primer on top of it. But that is something that I do because I like to make sure that any, like, dust from factory is off of the miniature, for sure. Yay! I've got kind of a frisky kitty situation today, so I'm a little nervous about what may occur. Hi, baby. Oh my goodness. But yeah, yesterday was wild. Those of you that were there, is beauty stuff something you want to see more of? I don't know. I thought that was kind of weird how many folks came by, but I guess it is different. My dad was talking to me about it this morning, and he was like, well, Aaron, anything that's a process is interesting. And I was like, okay, Dad. Yay! Yay, Shiznit. You def want Shiznit on your team, Painting Pirate. They're awesome. Shiznit also did the awesome frame that's around me. And we have a special one for painting days, as you can see, with the little paintbrush on it. And today, to celebrate this small pupper, I had actually ordered a few weeks ago I have always been using an insane detail brush, but I found and decided to get the Psycho. Wait, which is even smaller, because I am a psycho when it comes to detail on miniatures. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, it was super, super fun to do. I mean, it's always just cool to have Ariel around. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think that's key, is that, like, something fun and creative for this crowd is always going to be cool. Plus, after yesterday, we are only 31 followers away from giving away a set of level up dice, which I am super excited for. My God, the music is so loud for me. I thought I turned it down enough, but I didn't. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. We are listening to the musical stylings, of course, of Murder Sauce. I like the Army Painter brushes. I like that they are, I feel like I have a lot more control with them because of the shape of the brush. It has those kind of ergonomic ridges that I think is good. You come for the personality, not the content, per se. The content is good, but I follow the makeup artists on YouTube. I follow makeup artists on YouTube because she's insane and it makes me happy. Yeah, absolutely. Who do you follow? Because I watch a lot of beauty YouTube. It's very calming to me. I love people that I watch on YouTube. Nikki Tutorials. All the time. I love watching her. Mikey from Glam and Gore. Those are kind of my top two. I love watching them. All right. So I think what I'm gonna do is start in with the kind of white part of the Jack Russell. Riffelstein? Ooh, I'll have to check them out. You can hold you can hold your own with a brush. Yeah, Painting Pirate on the Discord. I think Shiz, and you're on the Discord, I believe, but I think Shiz has been posting a couple of things there every once in a while. What's up, Ancient Edie? Welcome, welcome. I'm just waiting for the primer to dry here. Let me put this pupper a little closer so you can see. This is a Jack Russell Fighter. He's got like a little bonnet on and a gorget. A gorgeous gorget. Yeah. And a little shield and some arrows. I think this is going to be... I was like, oh, this is simple. There can't be that much on it because it's small. But it might be one of those deceptively difficult paints. I've already kind of picked out the highlight color on this one is going to be blues and teals. That's what I want to do for sure. Oh, and for anybody who hasn't seen yet, we in fact do have all of our new emotes on the channel from Surprise's mom on the Discord. They look so cool. She took what I was trying to do when I was trying to draw them and just elevated it so much. I live. Here they are. Check them out. We've got a cheer emote. We've got a singing Ann emote. We've got a raging hearth singer emote. We've got a love emote. We've got a fear emote. We've got a thirsty emote. And of course, we have a Get Witchy emote for tier 3. So it is a lot of really, really fun ones. Yeah, still trying to still trying to get through it. And now that money's a little tighter, I don't expect to be ordering Black Primer anytime soon. Because I have a lot in here. Like, it's still quite full. So we'll see. This is also a dog that's primarily white. So I think white primer is a good call for that. I'm going to start with some creamy ivory as kind of the base coat of the white. And then we'll go from there. And oh God, as always, we're going to start off, and then we may have to discover the miniature as we go. So we shall see. Let me get some water in this paint. All right, I think that's pretty good. Cheering for Mom's emotes. They are so good. All right. How was everybody's weekend? What did you all get up to? Anything good? I played through a session of my Strahd campaign that went off the fucking rails. We've been trying to move towards the Amper Temple, which is scaring itself, but we have been doing our best to take care of this woman who's dying, and get her home. And we ran into Jenny Greenteeth, who is this kind of hag who's been helping us along our way to fight Strahd, although I don't trust her because she seems terrifying. I was like, there's something not quite right about this bitch. And we went into this cave where this hag was like, you need to collect these special crystals for me. It's the only way to heal her. And we were like, sure. So we went into the cave, and when we got down there, we found an elder brain, and we found revamped. Yeah, they really went for it with that jugular title, huh? So we went down into the cave. We found an elder brain surrounded by all sorts of carvings in what had started as an organic cavern, but now was starting to appear to have a lot more man-made elements. And coming to rest in front of the elder brain, Strahd came out. Now, I had already had to face off against like an illusion of my father, who told me I betrayed him and left him because he was also taken to Barovia when I got pulled through, and like it was just like a lot. It was a lot, and ultimately, wow, painting pirate. I mean, sure, as a title, it kind of sucks. Wow, you are terrible. You are a word criminal and need to go to word jail. Wow, remember when I was like, my eyes are so much better now, and then I couldn't see anything? Let's see here. Oh yeah, that's much better. Okay. I hope I'm not flashing this too much in your faces, everybody. So basically, we went down there, Strahd appears, and I was like, no, I am not doing this anymore today. And Strahd was like, didn't you realize Jenny Greenteeth and I were in it together from the moment you met her today? And I was like, excuse me? The camera on the pupper? All right, let's see if I can get that better. Let's see if I can fix. It's a little bit harder with the small ones. Pause Strahd. Pause the Strahd tale for a moment while we fix this. Yeah, now it just looks like fucking crazy. I think part of the problem right now is that everything's so white, maybe, you know. I think this might help, actually. Let me see. Yeah. One second, guys. Stick with me here. All right. I think that's probably as good as we're gonna get with something this small. All right. Cool. So, what happened was... Let's see. I'm going to do this. Then we're going to transition it over. All right. I think that's as good as we're going to be. All right. Thanks. So Strahd comes up and he's like, "Don't you see? We were in this together from the start." And I was like, "No, I hate this. I hate you. Go away, Strahd. I hate you so much. I can't take any more betrayals. I can't take any more emotions." And he was like, "For one night only, we have created a truce between both sides of our unending conflict." And I was like, "Excuse me?" And he was like, "To celebrate." And I was like, "What?" And then our DM was like, Strahd takes his hands and places them in front of him. The stone rumbles beneath your feet, and you can feel the vibrations as a table rises up out of the cavern floor in front of him. Small stone discs begin to rotate in the surface of the table. He finds ear coverings and pulls them on, and face coverings as well. And I was like, is he a DJ? Is Strahd a DJ? And then all of these crazy dancing lights come appear, and there's like a disco dance floor, and he's like describing this entire huge party with like red Solo cups and all this shit, and it's revealed that this is actually a surprise in-game birthday party for two of our players whose birthday was last week. And I wasn't even thinking about that at the time. But the next game we play, because we didn't get far enough into it, he has like mini games and all sorts of things for us to get into, and all of the big bads and all of our big allies from throughout the game have come together for one night in this like weird like alternate plane to celebrate with us. And I was like, that is the most cool DM surprise ever. So I was shocked. There's a picture of the reveal of the party on Roll20 on my Twitter if you want to have a look at it, because it is pretty fucking great. Alright, let me see here. The back of him is pretty much revealed, so I can paint in the white for the fur back here. So yeah, it was a mighty fine shindig, as some might say. So that was our Strahd game. The most intense part of it, that was before the reveal, was us trying to cross this bridge, and the bridge, god damn it, the bridge basically had a single rider on it, and when we got close, it was revealed to be one of my fathers, because I was raised by two paladin dads. in Faerun. And so one of my adopted fathers, who had gotten pulled through to Barovia when we were both on a mission together and got lost in the mist, so to speak, was standing there and was like, someone told me that I would find you at the Amber Temple, but you never came. You left me there. But I've like legitimately been searching for him for years, and in game time. By the way, I'm playing Irina. So Irina is actually an NPC, but I have never played Strahd before, but know enough about the thing to about the module to kind of work to ask. I was like, I kind of want to play that character, and so that's the character that I'm playing. We've kind of transitioned her from NPC mode because I started playing this not at the beginning with the other players. I started the game after they had already been playing together for, I think, 4 or 5 levels, something like that. Now we're level 7 or 8, I think. So we're moving along. Has anybody else played Strahd in here? It's a very fun module. Like Painting Pirate said, they are revamping it, and I'm really excited about that because it was not probably as culturally sensitive as it could have been, especially with the inclusion of the Vistani, who are based on the Romani people. And I am playing a Vistani in our campaign, and I love playing a Vistani, but I'm very excited to see what they've done to build out kind of that ancestry and their culture for Shoresies. I'm excited about that. All right. Now, we've gotten this done. I think what I want to do next is the brown on the ears. So I'm going to start that with this, I think, is Bloodstain Red too dark of a brown? Or should I start with ruddy leather? I can't decide. I can't decide if it's too dark. I'm gonna go with Bloodstain Red, I think, unless anybody else has a quick suggestion. But that seems to be the way that I'm leaning. Forever the GM here. I've run Strahd, went dark and grim. Yes, our Strahd is very dark and grim normally. It is just that what happened yesterday at the end of the game was a total surprise. I could not handle the reveal of that party. It was crazy. And tonight I will be playing my Eberron game, where I am a monk, a changeling monk, and I have just basically betrayed the entire party, which I wrote a longer post about, and we've talked about on this stream before, as like a kind of 2 years of play that have taken the characters in all sorts of directions, and so now we find ourselves in a place where there's a character who just hates changelings, and I am a changeling, and they have basically threatened her way of life, and so I had really no choice but to lean into that and steal this thing that would help her people, because he wasn't going to give it to her or let her use it. So I did it, and I think the GMs have an idea of how to get us out of the situation and create some new storytelling opportunities, which is really great. But it hasn't quite come together yet. Risa, what's up? Our DM offered to run Strahd. He's run it before, but we have to finish our current campaign first and not get distracted by other campaigns. So, like, probably never. Are you guys still playing your Mass Effect campaign? That always was very fun to hear about. Risa and I used to work together at Active Player Network and the Ren Fair, but at APN, we would, whenever we had sessions, we'd be like, so here's what happened, oh my god. I just got back into D&D after a 5 to 6 year break, so once I get my feet in a little more, I'm sure I'll branch off. Yeah! Awesome, so your bard actually went well? Kind of, we're on a break. No! Is it like when Ross is like, we were on a break? Why do people hate Friends so much? I mean, I understand that there are problematic elements to Friends and all sitcoms from that time period. Not all, but a lot of very whitewashed sitcoms. But I always thought that cast was really good. But maybe I was also just young and dumb. Who knows? Who knows? Bards are the best class. End stop. So yeah, so I have that game tonight, and then of course we have Starfinder on Thursday nights. And man, we are a few weeks from then. Miles is going on vacation, and instead of Starfinder, we'll have a Call of Cthulhu one-shot. And I won't tell you any more about who is running it. You can guess which one of the Starfinder crew is going to run Call of Cthulhu. But I'm very excited for it. I think that's what's happening. Don't hold me to that, but I think that's what's going to happen. I guess I should know if it's on my channel, right? But yeah, Chiron is absolutely hitting the nail on the head. I'm not a repeat watcher. At the same token, there are some jokes that have not aged well. Yeah, it's also very what's the word? It's pretty ableist, and it's pretty like gender roles centric, for sure. As far as how it's always like boys versus girls. Even though they live in New York City, they don't experience a ton of diversity. It's not that they don't experience any diversity. They do try and bring that more in later, but it's kind of doesn't feel like it's a weird version of New York City for sure. Ironically, left open in my backstory a chance for me to do a multi-class of Warlock because of my evil mom, says Shiznit. Yes, but which Warlock pact would you choose, Shiz? That's the question. Yeah, Ancient Edie, you got to catch up. All the Starfound on Anchor.fm, all of those podcast files come out on Wednesdays, so that'll be there. But you can always find it on the Starfound Patreon as well, which is still open to all. So if that's the easiest way to find stuff, totally, totes a thing. Do Jack Russell Terriers have brown paws? Is that a thing? Can somebody confirm? Confirm or deny brown paws? Have not looked into that yet. Hope to see how evil the DM makes my mom. Yeah, I hear that. That definitely would. Prepping your 5e game. You got to spend time doing that. I have been really meaning to get our Tyranny of Dragons game back up and moving, but then a bunch of things have come up. So, white paws. Okay. Let me just like look up a Jack Russell Terrier real quick, because I was gonna do this before stream, but then I didn't. Okay. Damn it. Okay. That's okay. I can fix it. I can fix it, okay? I can fix this. Alright, and then... I can fix this. I can fix this. Yes, I can. Doodle-little-doo-doo, doodle-little-doo-doo. Yes, I can. All right, now the face here. Oh, thanks so much, Guzthorn. Yeah, man, when Ariel cut my hair, it really just like made such a big difference in my quality of life. And there, like, is it perfect? No. Like, when we looked in at some of the color, you'll see in the video next week when it goes up on my YouTube. Which, if you're not following it, you absolutely should. It's just youtube.com/Ann Richmond. But when you watch that video, you'll see the green, the greeny bits did not turn out the way that we thought they would. But I think as it washes out a little bit and I use overtone to keep up with the color, I really don't think it's going to be very noticeable at all. So, yeah. I already did a little overtone on it last night to kind of get that process started. But I think overall it's such a good job. And Ariel was so sweet to do it and so patient. It's a really long process. If you've never done your hair, you guys were there for about 3 hours of it, which was the application of the hair dye. But the thing that happens is you have to bleach it, and that's also a big part of the process. And we were doing that part for, I don't know, I think we were doing that portion of the process from like basically like 12:30, like noon 30, up until almost right before we stopped for about 30 minutes in the middle to order some food and try to get I wanted Ariel to eat a little bit of food before we went live, because I knew I could eat when we were live, but she would be all up in my hair. So we stopped for a little food break. And then we came on with you guys, but by the time she left, because we went offline, right? And then I went and showered and then came back and did my hair. And then we had to blow dry my hair. I had to like do my makeup and do my final like look for the video. Yeah. I'm running Fandelver for 4 brand new players who gave me very minimal backstories to work with. So I'm trying to incorporate things like flashbacks with stuff they're only vaguely aware of to flesh out the story. That's really a good idea. And I would say if you're looking for cool mechanics for that, Manapod Studios uses flashbacks in the Absalom Adventures series, or what I was on it. I should know what it's called. But yeah, we have that ability to use flashbacks to plan something with a resolve point, but you could do something similar. Our new neighbors have a Jack Russell named Jack who hates people. I've never met a Jack Russell who hated people. It makes me so sad because I just want to hug him. I hear that. Oh, man. Oh, yeah, it's really good. The Arctic Fox stuff is really good. I've been using it for a while, so can definitely recommend to the wifey for shoresies. All right, let's look at these paws on these Jack Russell images that I pulled up. They're all pretty white. I think it's more that I got to get some of the brown on the face, and that is what scares me the most, y'all. All right, let's be very careful. We're going to use our Psycho brush from Army Painter, and I'm going to go in and very, very carefully. No. When I said carefully, what I meant was get paint everywhere. Have you painted this one yet, Painting Pirate? You had a question about the Manapot show. Are the other players also level 1? Did they stay tomato? Do they stay level 1? Yes. Everybody is using milestone, so whatever the non-guest characters are, that's what everybody else is. So we will be level 2 when we play again, which I can reveal. that you will be seeing on the next show, not this weekend, but the following weekend. You will see myself, Helena, and Dexter on the next show, all guesting together. And it will be run by our good friend Mark, who guested on the Stay Queer Spacetacular stream. Because, unfortunately, I believe that week is the week that Chris will not be available to play. So it will be a good time. A guaranteed good time, quote unquote. Alright. Cool. I believe so. And we are all leveling up to level 2, which I'm really excited about because I would love any... The thing is that level 1 envoys, all they get is just a bunch of skills in Starfinder. And that's great, right? But when it comes to actually being able to feel like you are a class, it doesn't offer a lot in that way. Yeah, I'm very excited about it. I enjoyed watching Dex play that character, so I'm excited to interact with him. Ancient Edie, it was our DM's first time being a DM, so I don't think he had any tricks up his sleeve to help us out. We were all fine with it, but it's an easy encounter. Ooh, the first cave, the goblin part, yeah, that can be pretty deadly if things go badly at level 1, for sure. Also, in case you didn't see it yesterday, the reveal in person of the official Hearthsinger Games Gamer Gulp mug is pretty stellar. I'm very excited about it. What do you guys think? In my store at hearthsingergames.com, you can get just a regular mug, and you can also get a heat-sensitive mug so that when you put tea or coffee in it, it'll like reveal the image over time. Which I also want, but I haven't acquired one of those yet. Schmexy. Alright, so I think that's pretty good for the start on the dog. Now we need to get into the armor and the cloth elements. So I'm going to go ahead and use the Templar blue to be on the dog's kind of like hood. What's up, Mage? How are you? Welcome to the Baby Bards. Thanks so much for joining us. That's it, guys. We're within spitting distance of this level up dice giveaway. For anybody who doesn't know, it is a set of raised blue cat's eye that is absolutely stunning. It has a very like 80s style font, like Back to the Future-esque vibe to it, but it looks like blue ice. And I got them because I know I have a lot of Starfinder fans in here since we play Starfinder on this channel on Thursdays. But yeah, I'm very excited to give them out. Although I've been like, maybe we'll never get to 600 followers and I can just keep them. But no, I won't do that. You guys have worked too hard. If I want dice, I'll just buy them. Dude, yes, Risa. Yas. I love them. They are basically the other half of the Amarukyuka dice that I use, which are like rainbow ice dice with the same, their level up. They're called Radical Glass. And I love them. They look rainbowy on the inside. Yeah. Yeah. It's a time. If I don't win them, although it's like it's like me 1 in 600 odds, I'm gonna have to buy them. I know. That's sometimes how these things go. If you go down into info, there's a link to look at more level up dice stuff if you want to while we're chilling here. But certainly not. So this is the kind of base for the color. You can kind of see it there. It's this kind of dark blue. Basing is kind of one of the hardest parts, or I guess like the most boring part of the miniature, because you're really just trying to map out what you want things to basically look like. Get it? Mer. So you can start to see. And I picked the blue because I thought it would stand out against the brown. Blue and brown is a really nice complement, I find. I've seen it a couple times recently on some logos, and I was like, ooh, that's nice. It's not my normal, right? Because I'm a pink and purple baby, but... Wow, this Psycho brush is helping a lot on these smaller dogs. I wish I had had it for the other ones. Fuck, right when I said that, I fucked it up. You had to say something, Anne. You had to say something. Hubris. Hubris. The brush is, yeah, this is the Psycho brush from Army Painter. It's the smallest one I've been able to find. But this is our last of the small dogs, I believe. There are some medium-sized dogs in the pack and one other bigger one left. Hold on, I can't see here. No, yeah, okay. Alright, so you can see getting his little bonnet on. $10 department store brushes aren't really cutting it anymore. It's good to start with, right? Like, I had a lot of bigger brushes that I just bought in a giant pack when I started out. And it was only after I started, you know, investing more into the hobby that I got the smaller brushes. I think learning some of the basic techniques with bigger brushes can be really good. But then once you start to get those other tools, you're just like, oh my God, this is so worth it. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do is base all of the... Oh, you know what? I still have a little bit of... Hold on. What's happening here? What is he wearing? Are these... I'm going to go for it. I think this needs a little bit more color. So I'm going to make these cloth down here. So you can see what I'm doing. I really like this blue-brown combo. I know I already said that, but it's still as true now as it was then. Oh, fun story, everybody. A lot of you guys were here on Saturday when I finished up Alien Isolation, which, like, thank God, because I did not know how much more of that I could take. I have found our next game. I am going to be playing KOTOR, Knights of the Old Republic, on Saturdays until we finish that, probably. And we might alternate it with some other things because people in chat had a lot of other really good ideas. And I also do want to play more Sea of Thieves on the channel. And since Chris is not a huge fan of that on Frontline Friends, and because it takes a little bit longer to play and I need multiple people, I think that is a good weekend game as well. So we may alternate a little bit. But I think those will kind of be the things that we do on Saturdays. Yes, the first KOTOR. That is what we are playing. And I won't lie to you, a big reason that we're playing it is because it costs $10. And Mama does not have a lot of money right now to be spending on more games. So I will have more after the first set of pledges processes from my Patreon. and when I get my check from Twitch, I'll have more to expend on other stuff. But for now, you gotta be thoughtful content creators, huh? Yeah, well, we might play the second one. But because I've never played the first one, I do want to do it in order. Hold on. What is happening here? What am I seeing? Yeah. Okay. Sorry, guys. On the small ones, sometimes I have to get it closer to my face. All right, there we go. Here, let's have a look. All right, now let's do the leather. I'm going to go with a kind of like lighter brown leather on this one. So these are the two colors I'm working between, the tanned blue and tanned leather and amber gold, just to make things a little bit more different from the brown that is on the actual dog parts of the dog. Okay. I don't know why I just sat here staring into space for a second, but I did, and I'm back. I'm back from my dissociative episode. Thanks for waiting. Yeah, there are a lot of really good games out there, and someone gave me, I was chatting with some other folks last night about options. I've been talking to a lot of people, and I have begun a list of things to feature. And y'all, I was like, I'm so cool. How dare you? How dare you, Ancient Edie? No, I was looking into other stuff to do YouTube videos on, and I forgot that I actually have to do some YouTube videos for the new Starship, what is it, the Starship Operations Manual for Starfinder that they sent me from Paizo. So I there's going to be some Starfinder content on in my YouTube videos, and after the hair video will probably be a kind of overview video of what you're going to get in those books and why I think they're cool, because I have a lot to cover. A lot to cover. I'm so cool. I'm not. I'm really not. I'm really very much not cool. I'm just a fool who likes to paint dogs on the internet. Do. Oh boy. Is music not playing anymore? Let's see. No, it is. I gotta keep reminding myself that the base coat is an okay time to fuck up. It's okay, Anne. Of all the times to fuck up, now is the fuck uppiest. Aw, thanks, Edie. That's very sweet. That's a very sweet. I did hear, guys, that we should have new streams with Ellie back at 10 a.m. In August. I think she may have posted that on Twitter, but she definitely posted it on Facebook, on her personal page. So get excited, because I think we've all been missing her and missing that, and her content is so much fun. So we all gotta go support that. I do believe she may have to. There's potential that she may have to start Red Dead over, which is a harrowing thought based on, I think she put in about 90 hours. So I hope that that's not the case, but It very well might be. So we might saddle up for a whole new run of Red Dead with Ellie when she's back. Excited to start killing horses again, though. I mean, listen. I was like, well, whatever happens, if you do have to get back into it and replay the game, I was like, you better go get that fucking white Arabian or I will kill you. And then manage not to kill it. That's the key. So what I'm gonna do here is not something that everybody does, but if you water down your paints enough, I sometimes will just paint all of the base coat only of the leather pieces across everything, especially when it's like this guy that has like a bunch of little knickknacks and things on him. And then I will paint on those things as I layer up on top of that. But if you're going to do that, you really got to make sure you water down the paint and you're patient with building up the color. So say we all. She has to not kill it or leave it in a bar. Leave it in a barn somewhere to forget about it. I hear that. I was like, that is the only time I was ever like, Ellie, I don't know if our friendship can come back from this because I loved that horse so much. Of course I was kidding. Or was I? But yes, I am excited to consume Ellie content again because it's a good place. It's a good place to be on the internet. Is anybody else painting anything right now? Or, and I don't necessarily mean right now, but like, are you working on any painting projects you want to share with the group? I'm kind of excited to paint something that's not a dog ever again. Although I have been having a ton of fun with these. Like, who doesn't love dogs? I love dogs. This is one of those times where it's really hard to get all the little inner edges of things, but this is the time when you need to be the most careful about that stuff. Because there's nothing worse than looking at the finished miniature and looking down and seeing like a little white piece sticking out. So let's have a look here. Hey, Tedicus, what's up? Do I have all my pups somewhere? Yes, I will take a picture of them all together. They're all on my shelf over there with a bunch of other miniatures that I painted. I'm thinking about... You guys saw a little bit more of my office / studio yesterday. But so I'm faced this way. I was against the opposite wall before, and this wall over here doesn't have anything on it. So I was thinking about mounting some shelves over there that, not like a set of shelves that stick out from the wall, but putting some shelves where I could keep my miniatures and keep them, frankly, away from my cat as well. So we'll see. We'll see. I have a bunch of shelves out in my living room. They're mostly covered in board games, but I have a whole shelf full of miniatures from WizKids there as well, which are pre-painted. They don't require work from me. But yeah, that's most of the stuff that I use when I'm DMing, or at least I used to use when I was DMing games in person. Ooh, Ancient Edie. Hold on. Wait, I've been itching to get some of my minis out and paint stuff. I have like $1,500 worth of Warhammer Orcs that I need to finish painting. They've been in exile for years. Working through a bunch of monsters from a company called Origin Miniatures. One of my new players brought me this thing of like 30 monsters, orcs, zombies, skeletons. That's also really fun though. Those are fun to speed paint. I guess some people might call what I do speed painting because I do like a whole miniature in 3 hours. Sometimes I might want to spend longer than I do on the stream, but I think I've said this before. I think one thing that's really important is that sometimes I think people get too precious with it, and that's why they never finish their miniatures, right? So I think it's kind of important to find a way to finish, and I felt for a while like I was getting too precious with things and not finishing them. So either not starting because I was nervous to like ruin the dogs or ruin my Critical Role miniatures. I actually just rediscovered my Ford miniature. Let me see where it is. Hold on. Might be over here. I gotta get back into painting the Critical Role ones because this one I had almost finished. It's not quite done. But my Ford is really quite good. You know, just in case you're tired of watching me paint dogs. And my Yasha, too. I'm really, really proud of my Yasha, who I also cosplay as well, in case you were not aware. You guys have pretty much been watching me paint paint dogs for a long time. Yes, I do paint other things. But yeah, I was really proud of those boys. I have the Caleb one I washed and is ready to paint. It's been just like sitting over there, but I've been waiting to get into the Critical Role ones till after I'm done with the dogs, I think. Okay, let's paint this silver buckler here. And then I think we'll be done with, well... We'll be nearly done with the base coat. I think I gotta do a little bit of muddy brown. I was involved in a game store, so I got most of that at a discount, and they were cheaper then. The prices have gone way up since I bought them. Yeah, I'm sure. Well, Miles and I were talking about the potential of getting into some Warhammer or something like that, maybe after quarantine, which is like, seems like, I hate talking about stuff after, you know, when quarantine is over, because the fact is, I mean, I'm sorry if this is too much for people to talk about, and I understand if you don't want to listen to me bitch about it, but we don't know how long this is going to be, mostly because unlike other countries who have gotten their shit together, America doesn't seem to really understand the concept of a social contract to collectively work towards improving the problem. And so the decisions of the few, I won't say few because it's plenty of people who are being stupid, but the decisions of people who don't care are really adversely affecting the people who do. So that's what I'll say about that. And as someone who hasn't had a person in their home until literally Ariel was here in all of this time. So you guys saw the first time someone had been in my home since we went into lockdown. I would like to ever see my friends ever again, beyond the people that are in the like pod of people who've been kind of isolating together and who have, you know, in essence chosen each other. So that's what I have to say about that. That's what I have to say about that. Oh my god, I'm trying to be so careful and to keep the white parts of Jack Russell. I feel like his name just needs to be... We need to name this dog, but something about Jacques, the fighter, really, like, rings clear to me. Let me know if you hate that, but I'm kind of here for it, I have to say. Hold on, for some reason my Facebook chat got covered up. Hey, what's up, guys? Sorry, Facebook folks, if I've been ignoring you. That was not my intent. It's too many chats on the dance floor here. Here in Wyoming, people get mad at me wearing a mask. One was worried you were going to get carbon dioxide poisoning. You're not wrong, and it's super frustrating. I mean, just from a hobby standpoint, VTT games are just not the same. Yeah, I agree. I long for social interaction again. Absolutely. What's up, Lee? I love you. Jacques is perfect. Lee, we were talking about our excellent Strahd experience. I'm talking to Lee over on Facebook, if you guys are wondering why you don't know who I'm talking to or responding to. Lee plays our monk in that game and is a delight as a human as well as an elf monk. But was one of the birthday folks honored. I was saying how we were totally shocked and surprised. Did you know about it? I didn't get a chance to ask if you had known that JC was planning something. I was totally floored by that entire thing. Basically the best. Yeah, Tedicus, I hear you. Well, a lot of people are looking for groups over on our Discord. So if you... I mean, I know playing virtually isn't the same as being in a room, but it's very likely that we're going to be in this situation for a long while. So it might be good to find a group of people who wants to commit to doing stuff. But there's a good mix of people who are players and GMs on the Geeks for Good Discord, so highly recommend. I am painting the tiniest lines onto these arrows. I should have done this after I painted the... I'm just gonna have to redo it, aren't I? I feel stupid. It's okay. It's okay. You live, you learn. He mentioned wanting to do something, but I thought he abandoned the idea, and I certainly didn't expect that level of extra, says Lee. Yeah, it was so fucking cool. It's one of the most... It was one of the reveal... We're talking, by the way, for anyone, about this reveal of a surprise party, a surprise birthday party in-game from our GM, who is living in the UK with his partner. And 3 people had birthdays pretty recently during quarantine. And so he, as the GM, as the big bad of the game, so we're playing Curse of Strahd, as Strahd, he appeared and... revealed his dastardly plan for a surprise party. And it was the greatest thing that I have ever experienced. And he was like, Anne, I'm so sorry, like, it's not your birthday. And I was like, I don't give a fuck. This is the greatest thing that's ever happened. Like, it's the greatest plot reveal. Because I was so focused on how it was crazy that I did not realize that, like, it was a joke. For way too long. For way too long. I was like, Strahd, what does this mean? What is the meaning of this? And then I was like, oh, it's a birthday party. But it was good. It was so good. It was so wholesome. I think also, I wonder how you guys feel about this. Uh, the idea, especially in a darker campaign, of needing like a beach episode or levity, I think can be really important. If you're playing a pretty serious game, sometimes you need kind of an island. And I felt that way playing Starfinder over on Manapot last weekend on Saturday. For those of you who came, we did like a battle of the bands game where Helena and I are in a celestial rock band called Rat Party, and we are like, I'm her, she's, instead of me being the face and the icon, right, she is the icon, and I'm like the lead bassist who writes the music in the background. And it's just like super fun to kind of switch up our roles, since go Lee says, also returning the kind compliment, it's such a joy to fight by your side, you bring so much epicness to the campaign. Aw, I love you, Lee. Thank you. Maybe too much epicness at times. I get a little excited, but but thank you. I love fighting with you. I love Lee's character is such a cool. She's a monk. She's way of the four elements, and she has her sister's spirit. For a very long time was attached to her via her familiar, and it's so cool. It was so cool. She had like this tattoo that would like transform and give her the power to turn into different animals and stuff, and that's been such a cool story to watch unfold for Shorazies. Sorry, I'm all over the place now. Let's see. Oh yeah, talking about taking a break during harder campaigns or darker campaigns can be really good, because I like how serious everything is in our Starfinder game. Otherwise I wouldn't be playing that Starfinder game, right? But everything's pretty serious, and part of that I think is because we are at performance, right? Like we're playing at being performers. I mean, we are performers. I don't know what I'm saying. I think what I'm trying to express is that because we're telling the story as a theatrical entertainment as well as to entertain ourselves, that as people who are all actors, we're all very, very committed to telling a contained tale as smoothly as possible during the course of our podcast recording and our Twitch streams. And so that makes things very serious a lot of the time, even though obviously like I'm playing a dog person, so it's not that serious, but what Amaruk is going through right now on Starfinder is pretty serious. So I think it gets a little heavy, and it's nice to have something else to lean on, because every character I play is kind of going through it right now. And to be fair, I chose that. Like that is not me placing blame on anybody else but myself. Matt Will Jackson, who you guys see in the chat a lot, always gives me shit when we're chatting outside of stream. He'll be like, you could just like make a normal person living a normal life. And I was like, yeah, but why would that person be an adventurer? As I always say, if it's not PTSD&D, was I even playing? That is the key. Oh my god, Guz. In the campaign I'm writing, the island vacation turns into a scary, insane asylum mystery. That sounds good. I'd be into that. One day my friends can hang out and play. One day. Yeah, I hear that. We've been really enjoying Foundry as a virtual tabletop, though, by the way. And I love Roll20 as well. They're just both kind of slightly different systems. the silver into this gray. I thought there would be a lot more silver going on than there is, but there's not. And so we're just going to practice a little bit of being grateful here. And by that I mean grateful that we didn't ruin the miniature. But we can add some shine and some highlight as we go, so I'm not super concerned about it. Oh yeah, they walk through the mist and end up in Ravenloft. That's so cool. Love that. I really want to play some Pathfinder 2nd Edition. I've never played it. And I've read the books, right? So I understand a little bit of like the rules differences and some of what I'd be getting into. But I really want to try it out. But I need to read it more. I might try and do like some what am I trying to do? Do some Pathfinder Society just to like test it and see what I think of the system. I interviewed Eric Mona about it at the last Gen Con, and chatted with him on the channel I was working for about the development of 2nd edition. And the character creation process especially seemed very cool. The other thing I gotta sit down and do tomorrow is record my Patreon podcast, which I believe is going to be a wrap-up of what I thought overall of Alien Isolation and the way the game operates in order to tell a story both successfully and, in some ways, I think unsuccessfully, but mostly, by and large, successfully. All right, so have a look here. So I've basically based everything. And now it's time for washes. Oh, wait, no, it's not. I still got to do the little arrow fletchings. All right, let's see here. Oh, my God. You've been reading Starfinder since winning the PDF. I'm making my first player character for fun. Of course! I'm so glad. I'm so glad that it's all worked out. You know, I need to actually check in with them because there were a couple of people. There's one person who I think never responded to me about what they won, and I needed more information. So thank you for reminding me about that. All right, now we're going to let that dry for a moment. We're going to drink some iced coffee, and then we're going to get into the first layer of washes. Oh, yeah? What did you make, though, Guz? Enjoy my peace sign dance while I bop around. The other thing I gotta do tonight is get a new Hearthsinger Games video trailer made for the channel and for the break for Starfound, which is crazy. But yeah, that's on the list. The thing that's really difficult with white, let's talk about it. When something needs to stay white and you need to put a wash over it, the wash has a much higher tendency to tint the color in a pretty extreme way. Android Technomancer themeless. Icon is a great theme for Technomancers, depending on what you want the character to be. But there are a couple other ways to get charisma bonuses too. And also you can be whatever theme you want. It doesn't really matter unless you're trying to min-max, which there's no reason to if that's not the game you want to play. You know what I haven't done, and I can do this before I get into the white, is base the rock. There we go. There. It never happened. Alright. So, let's use this. I think I'll use this other army painter. This is the Wargamer Regiment brush. It's about this thick, and this is what I'm going to use for wash. I usually like to use a fluffier brush because it captures and holds the wash a lot better. As far as washes go, though, it is going to take on the shade pretty intensely. So I think I'm going to go with the sepia, the Seraphim sepia, and I'm going to water it down a lot. That's the plan, at least. So let me get this into this pot here. I'm going to use it as is for the leather armor. So Seraphim sepia, you'll see it'll darken that leather a little bit. Again, you want to brush it against the grains of the sculpt so that it catches in all the places that shadow would fall. The first layer of wash is often the easiest, simply because you don't have to be as careful. Later on, you're not going to want to get the wash everywhere as you build up the highlights. But on that first layer, I'm usually pretty fine with just throwing it down. Maybe other people might at me about that quote-unquote technique, but that's what I do. You want to have corrupted memories and is surprised by their magic use. That's cool. Like that. I'm into it. I always like leaving a door open for the Lord, aka the GM, in that way. Now I'm going to take some clean water from my non-used water that I haven't been using my brush in, and I'm going to dilute this brown wash down quite a bit. Alright, cool. Yeah, that's much better. And again, the reasoning here is because the white will pick up every little thing. So if you have too much brown, it'll just turn all the white parts totally brown, which is not what you want. It's just not what you want. You want them to have like a little bit of warmth, but you don't want them to be brown. A lot of people ask me, okay, but how much? And I'm like, I don't know. I just eyeball it, honestly. It's something you learn with practice, and if you're going to practice, you got to be painting. All right, so now you can see first layer of wash on the leather and the white. Now, next up, we're going to let that dry for a second because I'm going to go in with the blue, and the blue is going to go on some areas that are going to come in close contact with the white. So I want the wash that I just added to be a little drier so that if I accidentally move move the brush too close to the wet spot, it doesn't just like watercolor just pull the blue into the rest of the miniature. So you got to be really careful with that. I'm going to put it actually here in front of the AC unit where it will get a little bit more. I actually think that doesn't work at all. I don't think it's high enough. Let's see. There we go. He is perched very nobly on top. Oh my goodness. They have a 6 for strength. Oh boy. That's a weak little android friend. Not, you know, not to be insulting or anything. It's just not, he not strong. But technomancers don't necessarily need to be strong. Unless you're using some touch spells, in which case you're going to have a harder time landing. A touch spell. Alright, Drakenhof Nightshade is what we're going to use for the blue part. And then I think once we do the blue, we'll be able to go in with the next bit, which is going to be dry brushing. For that, I'm going to have to mix 2 browns. I'm going to use on the original brown, I'll use the same brown that I used, the tanned leather, this one here, right? I'll use that same one. Oh, that's amber gold. Stupid. So for the first highlights, I'll use the tanned leather, right? The same color I started with to kind of build it up gradually. For the blue, it depends on how dark the Drakenhof Nightshade makes it. If it's super dark, then I'll just use the original blue that I had used for it, which is this Templar blue. But if it's not too dark, then I'll start to go in on the highlights with the aqua. Now, some people find that that's too stark of a difference. The thing for me is that I like to have more complementary colors, and by that I mean colors from the opposite sides of the color wheel, or colors that have a bigger disparity, because when you're painting quickly, what's up, Miles Duff Games and stuff? What? What's going on? How are you doing? Is this a new account? It's me. What's going on? Where's Geeks for Good? I'm scared. We're waiting for our wash to dry a little bit while we are contemplative. We're discussing color theory. You're probably 100% not ready to discuss what this new thing is, so that's totally fine. I was just surprised to see you. He's spying. They'll never know it's me. They'll never know. Yeah. I was going to be more myrrh, but then when we did we had to make some important decisions about the color blue and how it was going to look on my hair when we did the lifting process. Get contemplative. Yeah, I'm not playing haiku game, but I can be contemplative too, Miles. Oh my goodness. Do you want to see our doggy? I think he's pretty cool. Sweet, and he's dried a little bit, so we could paint the next set of wash. He's a Widow Jack Russell Terrier. Oh, it's your personal from back in the day? Well, welcome. Thanks for coming by. Good times. So I'm going to take the Drakenhof Nightshade. I'm going to put it on the blue portions. That makes sense. As you can see, Drakenhof is a very dark wash, so it's scary. Miles, we were talking about earlier how you and I were like, let's do war games. And it's still tucked in the back of my mind. I just want to be like pallid witch flesh scary ladies. That's my desire. Are there any armies, those of you who understand war games better than me in war game lore, are there any armies that would suit me due to these demands? Because I don't want to just play a bunch of orc boys or a bunch of dwarf boys or a bunch of like big suited boys. I want to be a delicious milieu of witchitude. That's what I need. That's what I need in my life. All right, let's take this is the one, right? Yeah, the regiment brush. And I'm going to carefully refresh you on the rules. Oh, the rules for, okay, so if I were going to play a war game, like Warhammer, or Hordes, or Hordes War Machine, or whatever, what would be a good army for me? Because I want to play like witchy women things, or like witchy druid people. It could be either or both, but that's what I want. You tell me what that means. All right, so we're getting in here. Again, the importance is make sure you don't get it too much on the brown or at all on the brown. It's harder because wash brushes tend to be a little bit bigger. And then you're going to pull, again, against any ridges that you see so that the wash gets stuck. It gets stuck on you. No, but the wash then, glides into the lower, more shadowed areas. Sisters of Battle, tell me fucking more. That sounds good. I'm in. Can you tell I'm a Night Leech Beach? The Night Sisters of Dathomir, some of my favorite Star Wars lore in a galaxy of options. Miles, did I tell you I'm going to play KOTOR next on the channel? Now that we have... No! I got blue on the white part of his face. Fucking kill me. Disaster has struck. Okay, I fixed it. I sort of fixed it. I didn't really fix it, but I kind of fixed it. God damn, I hate that. 100% all girls casters and badasses. That's what I want. And that's War Machine or what? What do I... How me get? How me paint? All right, and then I also tend to use, depending, either Drakenhof or Nuln oil on like silver stuff. This time I'm going to use just straight up Drakenhof Nightshade on the silver because I want this to stand apart from the rock. Ooh, is there more detail on this than I was aware of? This is also a good thing to do when you add washes, is to kind of see what it reveals, because sometimes it reveals elements of the design you weren't aware of. Oh boy, we clicking this link. We clicking it. Yes. Oh, look at this. Look at these heels. Look at these bones. She does have skulls on her boobs, which is not stylistically what I would prefer. But you know what? I'm still okay with it. There's still a part of me that says, yes, Anne, this is a place where you can be comfortable. This is a place where your needs can be met. And I'm into it. I like it. Do they have to be red and gold? Can you paint them other colors? Ah, thank you so much for that sub, Painting Pirate. We have moved along here to washes. This is as far as we've gotten. It's not super exciting yet, I promise you. It's going to get fucking exciting, but it is not quite exciting there yet. All right, so next up, the second link. Let me have a look. Let me have a look. I'm looking. We out here. We looking. Ooh! Look at them fly and soar. Yes, 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 yes. That's it. Paladin Space Ladies. Miles, are you still here? Do you see them? Do you see them calling to me? Look at the purpley versions. Ooh, bitch. I want to paint an ombre wing today. What's it gonna take? Holy shit. Oh my god. Y'all, if you haven't clicked these links, it's time. It's time to click the links. Jeez Louise. Yeah, we're talking about the potential. Miles and I have been talking about doing some wargaming. Not necessarily on stream, but like as people. And I would really like to wargame. And it's just never been in the cards so far. I would love if it had been in the cards, but it hasn't been in the cards so far. It's a very expensive thing and a very big commitment miniatures wise. So I'm kind of waiting out quarantine a little bit, since obviously you can't really play with them in quarantine. Money, time, and space. Exactly. So I need, first of all, there are a couple things that need to happen. I need the ability to meet with people to play the game. So that's step one. I need to reorganize my office now that it's a studio. I think for a while I thought about moving my desk to face a different direction. I don't think I'm gonna do that. I think I'm just gonna kind of push it forward that way, so I have a little bit more room behind me to do stuff like put up a green screen if I want, or a backdrop. I might get new curtains. I don't know. These are not things that need to happen today. I'm just kind of painting a picture of the potential future. And then I want to use this entire wall and put up a bunch of shelves so that I can put a lot of my collectibles on there and my miniatures in a place where they can't be gotten to by cats. So, 2022. Yeah. 100%. And I also need to paint the miniatures I have before I get more. That is a part of the rule, that unless somebody is sending me miniatures to paint, that I am not going to be just picking up more miniatures willy-nilly. That's the rule right now. I'm hoping that is a thing. Ooh, but look at these. Look at these. There's like a little battle box. It's a battle box. Look at them. Look at them. It's just one little battle box for $60. God Damn. But BattleBot. Look at the little cherub with a skull. Nobody told me about the skull babies. What is this? Why do you do this to me, Shiz? Why did you show me these things? I literally was like, show me, and you did, and now I'm mad at you. I'm not actually mad, but I'm mad about it. I'm mad about it. I think that's clear. They're clear. So I'm just boned when that ship's next year. Yeah, I hear that. I hear that. Yeah, the Reapers Kickstarters yield a lot of really cool stuff. That's how you get $1,500 deep. What's up, Allegian? Welcome to the Baby Bards. How's it going? Are you working on painting anything in your life? How could we bring painting miniatures into your life more, or chill with you? I don't think Bob Ross ever said that. Just to be very clear, I don't think Bob Ross ain't got nothing on me. All right, let's go in here and start the highlighting process. I think I'm trying to be really careful because he's so small. The Jack Russell is so small that I really need to make sure that things are fairly dry before we start in on highlighting. Ooh, you're just playing Skyrim. It's a good choice. Yes, Guz. Amazing. What are you, how are you building out your character in Skyrim, Elegian? Also, I like your screen name. That's pretty cute. Pretty dope call sign. If I do say so myself. Skull babies. Thanks, Painting Pirate. BT Dubs, if you guys are ever interested in doing something to help the channel grow that does not cost money, being clip misers, Cliposaurus Rexes, clippers, clip clops. Nope, don't like it. None of that was good. Is really, really helpful because I can use those to create highlight reels, which are more likely to be able to be played as a short trailer or as monthly things. So if you see stuff and you like it, then definitely clip it because it makes my job a little bit easier. I don't then have to go back and watch every stream I'm on to to find the fun moments. All right, let's see. I want to go in with brown first, I think, because I still have a little bit of that left. I need another fluffy brush. Let's use this one. So these are, when earlier, I think, I can't remember, maybe it was Ancient Edie was talking about like affordable brushes. This came from a set of brushes that I got for $20, and it came, this is obviously more than that set, but it came in this bottle, and there were more of them before I ruined a lot of them doing stupid things. But it came with a ton of these brown brushes of different sizes, and that was a great way to kind of start my brush collection. So that was available on Amazon, and they're called the D'Artisan Shop. And they're just craft brushes, but they're a good kind of miniature starter, since you guys sometimes ask me about that. Clips to throw in going live tweets make a huge difference for sure. People are like, yeah, I do want to do that. I do want to think that. I have, by the way, gotten more of a chance to get a little bit more Monster Hunter in, and I've been really digging it. It has been a ton of fun. Of course, I'm not doing ranked monsters or anything yet, but I'm living. I'm having a great time. Okay, so now I'm going in there with some dry brushing just to get the high parts of the brown area. It's a very subtle thing that I've just done, but I think it's pretty good. I think it's pretty good. Wait, so I've been meaning to ask you, Painting Pirate, what's your kind of stream schedule? Do you have a schedule? Because I know you're working around, like, work during the day. which I am no longer doing because my life has changed in an unexpected yet financially significant way. I also, P.S., have to get out to the patrons and ask them to vote on a miniature for me to buy for this first month of patronage for me to paint on stream. So I'm just, this is me reminding myself to do that because I still got to do it. A non-puppy stream. I know, hard to imagine. But look, this is looking great. I love the way this is picking up. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Fridays and Saturdays, 8 p.m. ET. Okay, cool. And Sunday and Monday, 8 p.m. ET for Mini. Cool, cool. Your Paintrons, wow. Wow, Painting Pirate. I mean, you should. I definitely won't take it from you. What's up, Nymeria? Welcome. Welcome to the Baby Bards. Thanks for that follow. How are you doing? Are you a miniature painter yourself? All right. Cool. So let's go on. And I'm really digging this light leather look. I don't normally do that. I go for a darker brown, but I've tried to learn my lesson from others of the small dogs from the Steamforged sets because I really, really feel in my deep heart, my deepest heart, that if you put too many dark colors too closely together on the smaller dogs, that it just all kind of blends together. So you gotta really pick a couple colors and not try to do too much. Maybe I'm wrong though. Tell me if you think I'm wrong. I do think it matters what colors you're choosing for sure, but all right, I'm just like literally looking at my handiwork and not getting any work done. So let's move it along. Okay, so for the next part for the cowl, what I'm going to do is mix a tiny bit of the Surf Aqua in with, oh boy, that's not a tiny bit at all. Circle Ouroboros, yeah. So here's the thing, I want to play War Machine. I've actually played War Machine. I've tested it out. However, Miles was not as interested in War Machine, so. And yes, I wanted to play Circle Ouroboros, so there's another like witch set there too. Yeah. Yeah, I played it once. You know, that was one of the weirdest. Okay, story time. That was such a weird experience. That was one of the times I always point to when people are like, being a woman in gaming isn't bad anymore. It's not that bad, is it? So I went to this guy's house, and it wasn't like a romantic thing or anything. It was a friend of a friend, right? And they were like, oh, we can hang out this weekend, but we promised we'd go to this guy's house on Long Island and hang out with him. He's doing miniatures. And I was like, wow, I've painted a couple of miniatures. I had like painted like 2 or 3 at that point. Really enjoyed it. But I wanted to learn more about wargaming. They were like, oh, he loves wargaming. He'd love to like play. I'm bringing my new set over there. Do you want to come with us? And I was like, Steph, that sounds awesome. Yes, let's go. So I went, and lo and behold, we get there, and the guy goes, so you want to learn how to play miniatures? And I go, yeah, I'm really excited. Thanks so much for letting us play with yours. And he goes, yeah. Well, I mean, are you like a geek? Like, what's your deal? And I was like, I don't know. like a lot of different stuff, but mostly Star Wars. That's kind of the gateway drug to my geekdom. And he goes, well, what's your favorite Star Wars movie? And I go, well, for me, I would have to say Empire Strikes Back. And he goes, huh, all right, yeah, that's the right answer. And so, fuck that guy, is what I'm trying to say. I hate the experience as a girl in the game industry and as a nerd and as a cosplayer that you need to be tested every time you ever just want to participate in fandom. So that's a thing that happened. Yeah. Gatekeeping is for jackholes and dillweeds. Yeah, I was displeased, and that was like at a time where I was like kind of letting my geekdom out of the closet for the first time. And even then I was like, I don't deserve this. No reward is worth this, Han Solo style. Kick him in the balls. Yeah. So he was the worst, and I never spoke to him again. He also didn't like one of my friends. Yeah, fuck that guy. Hold on. Hold on. Who's talking to me over on Facebook? I gotta catch up here. It's Lee. It's still Lee. Yeah. Seriously, fuck that guy. He was the worst, and I hated him. He actually, you guys know, not the guy. The person there, as you guys know, I'm really good friends with Chris, who does Frontline Friends with me on Friday. And he's like a family member to me. Like, that's how close we are in our lives. And he was like, oh, well, you're friends with that guy? And I was like, that's when I was like, I'm leaving. Like, it's like, I hate you. I hate you so much. You don't even know me, and you're already willing to tell me that someone that you don't even know how close I am with them, like, sucks to you. But apparently I don't want to go deeply into it because I don't actually know the full story. But I think they had maybe gone to college together, and he was already a dick. We are painting another puppy, Doc. Check it out. We got this Jack Russell. We're spilling the tea. I've been working on some dry brushing. What I need to do next is mix a little bit of brown. Let's do this. We're gonna take, that is not even a thing anymore. We're gonna take this, and we're gonna take this. Just doing, so in dry brushing, for anybody who's new to dry brushing, what you do is you get the paint on your paintbrush, and then you start basically wiping as much of it off as possible onto I like to use a piece of paper towel, something that's got a little bit of friction and just, you know, bits sticking up on it, texture to it, I guess, friction, a bit of something that's got a little bit of friction, you know what I'm saying? Something that's got some texture to it so that you can really get most of it off. And then when you pull it against the grain here, you'll just really get the highlights on the mini. I think that's gonna look a little bit better when I add some more wash to it. All right. Then I'm gonna take that same light brown and I'm gonna, no, you know what? I'm just gonna go in straight for the white. So I've got this creamy ivory, and then I was gonna mix some ghost white with it as the lighter shade, this one here. Whites are really hard to find highlights for. I don't ever know if I'm doing it right. Ah, fuck. Do I have to do this literally every week? Just drop one of my things just directly on the ground? We dropping it. Bum ba dum bum 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 bum. We are painting a puppy. Doc, how are you? What's going on with you? Any good game updates on some Pathfinder or some D&D or anything? Any stories from the front, as they say? Too big for this, so I'm going to need, sometimes it's hard to dry brush smaller areas, so I kind of struggle to find the right sized brush for it. I think this kind of medium fluffy brush might be good for it. This is from Ghost Brushes, which was another set of brushes that I got at one point, but these were from my friend Pup. They got them for me, and I have used them in good health ever since. This is so fucking hard. I always forget how hard dog faces are. They come together in the end, but goddamn, is it a whole fucking process to get there. I'm also going to use this to highlight the rock. What's up, Amber? Thank you so much. Probably the best final fight you've ever GM'd. Mature adult green dragon. The sorcerer killed it with two of the 4 party members bleeding out. One misfired with a gun, and he perfectly hit the cast defensively. The SR check at the actual HP to put the dragon at -1 hit point. That is so awesome. I love that. Oh, God. I did a fight the last time I ran my party through one of the encounters leading up to Castle Neritar in Tyranny of Dragons in Horde of the Dragon Queen. And what happened? They're so powerful that it's really hard to challenge them sometimes. So I made the challenge less so about killing and more about the fact that they were in this burning longhouse with a set amount of rounds to deal with that. Putting it out and getting through. They were in a very packed crowd of people, so it was really hard for them to move around or move through enemies, and all of the NPCs were confused as to who was attacking who, so they weren't sure if the party were friends or foes. So it was a combination of skill challenges to like convince them in the process of this burning building collapsing that they were trying to help them. And I thought that was like a cool little flip on, just throwing something hard at them. And it's really easy to forget what an important role environment can play on making things more challenging. Yeah, exactly. Because it always makes sense when you're thinking of like a dragon, right? Because a dragon has lair actions if you're in their area at lair, and other things have lair actions as well that have lairs. Really, anything with a lair has a lair action. But it's important to kind of add that element, like you said, to keep it from getting stale. Guys, I know I've slowed down on this a lot because I just feel so scared about the face. I feel like I'm ruining it. I know I'm not ruining it, but there's a part of me that's scared that I will ruin it. So I think I just need to commit, you know? I'm scared of commitment. Yeah, the eyes, I've literally been looking at this face that I feel like I've already ruined and being like, it's fine. I think because of the size of the face here, I'm not, and the fact that I have multicolored stuff going on with the eyes, I think I'm gonna have to paint on highlights instead of dry brushing them for the facial region, the facial region of the dog. So that's a fun thing to do. It's just paint. You can always get over it. Says the person that has never ended up with a mini that's head is now as this big as a ball of paint. Yeah, have you added too many layers? That does happen sometimes. Not all the time, but it does happen. All right. Adding the nose always makes it look better, so I am going to do that. I also need a new palette. This one is not great, I'll tell you that much. All right. I always feel like I'm like scalpel when I'm moving this light around. Always remember that you can turn your miniature upside down. Like, there's no reason not to. I have to remind myself that that's an option. Because sometimes you can get better control. So here you can see, been putting the nose on. And a little bit of I went like underneath the jowls a little bit. Now I'm gonna take, I have like a violet shadow that I typically use for darker stuff. Did I put it away? I think I might have. Alright, so what should I use instead? I can use this bloodstained red, I think, if I mix that in, it'll make a difference, so to speak, you know. Very carefully, just, this is where patience and control plays a big part. There. Hey, Murder Sauce, thank you so much for that subscription. Mwah! We are listening to the musical stylings of Murder Sauce right now. We've been listening to them all day on the channel. Thanks, friend. I appreciate that subscription. Alright, so let's see here. I think we gotta I'm not gonna touch the face with any washes, but it is time to go in again with some washes on the rest of the dog. I'm gonna go ahead and use the watered down brown. You can always add more wash to something, but it's harder to take away the mistakes, which you hear in most like art or creative things, but it's definitely true, so it bears repeating. Look, Murder's graduated to a D8 icon now. Beach, yes! A 3-month beach. That is one of my favorite things. I cannot take credit for that idea. My friend Nat had the idea of doing, to be clear, in a conversation with me about what I should do on my channel. My friend Nat had the idea of graduating people with loyalty badges from D4s all the way to D20s and beyond. And so that is what you will see on the channel. And I think it's really cool. All right. Oh, you know what I didn't do is highlight the shield. So we gonna do that real fast. Make sure it's not wet. It's not. It's just shiny. It's really cool, right? I think it's fucking smart. It's wicked smart, as they say. Oh shit, y'all. Are we back up to 50 subs? Hold on. Murder might have taken us there. Let's see. We're at 49 subs. Holy shit. That's amazing. We're almost back up to 50. Ah! And we have a bunch of people with tier 2 subscriptions now. And we have all our new... Murder, do you see Mum's new emotes? I'm obsessed with them, by the way, everybody. Check this out. Behold. And then at tier 2, you can get the thirst emoji, which is one of my favorite. Oh, Amber. I always gotta be careful when Amber's around because she's like, I'll just give another sub out. It's fine. We need to have an even 50. Thank you, Amber. Thank you so much. Well, there's 50. There's that thirst. Yes, Beach. Thirsty for subs. Well, that could be misinterpreted. Or is it? You decide, I suppose. Jacques is adorable. Badass, but adorable. Thanks, Lee. I appreciate that. I love him. I love him. He's small boy. I think his little nose made a difference. I gotta darken in the eyes. A gamer gulp. Don't mind if I do. Oh, Doc! Hype train incoming! Oh my goodness, y'all! What even is happening on this channel today? Dang it, Amber, you beat me to the 50. Thanks, Doc. So these Gamer Gulp mugs, I designed them, and they are available in my store at heartsingergames.com. But now I can drink from my actual Gamer Gulp mug when people request a Gamer Gulp, which is literally why I made them. Like, you guys can have them too if you want them, but I was like, I need a mug, and now I can make one. So that's what I do with my spare time. Can confirm. Gamer Gulp, refreshing as fuck. Holy shit, we are at level 1 hype train. I don't think a hype train has ever been activated in my channel before. I've never seen the likes of it before. A poem. All right. When fighting in battle, you should bring a pupper. You'll find they're most helpful when singing for supper. They howl with a fervor not easily matched. They'll help you with roofs that need to be thatched. They can't. How would they? Let's make sure. Let's see. Oh, Jesus. Now we're on level 2 hype train. Jeez Louise, guys. Thank you so much for those bits. Analog Hammer, my God. They'll help you with roofs that need to be thatched. Oh, my God. Anonymous Cheerer. 100 bits. What's happening in here today? I don't know how to deal with this. Thank you, Anonymous. That's amazing. I don't know how to continue this poem. They'll help you with roofs that need to be thatched. Not by helping per se, with paws not opposable. With cuddles, you say? Well, I suppose that's supposable. So bring along a dog when you've things to do. With hounds by your side, your enemies you'll subdue. There we go. I did it. I did a poem. That's probably the best poem I've done. Bring along a dog with thumbs. Thumbs not opposable. I think I'm better at doing the poems on the painting streams because I'm not running from aliens on board space stations. Those were always the hardest when people would request poems in Alien Isolation, because I'd be like, I'm getting in a closet. Your teeth, you should floss it, and then I'll die, and we'll say goodbye. Okay, thank you for the poem request. Like, that was so often what would occur. So there we go. There we go. A poem for all of you. And thank you so much for all of those bits and the subs. My goodness, I feel so supported. Thank you guys so much. All right. All right, let's shine up this little, all the metal bits. We got to shine up the bits on the sword, like the pommel and the little buckler as well. So the little buckler that could. We're gonna buckle down. Wow, guys, I don't think you guys understand how many armament jokes I had to make being on a stunt team at a Ren Fair. I don't think you understand what my life was like, but maybe if you just like put a little bit of time into imagining it, you might be able to get there. You might be able to get there. Good Lord. Guys, a level 2 hype train. I've never seen the like. I've never even seen it. Good Lord. I've never been on a train before. That's not true. I live in New York. Although I haven't been on the subway since February. So, that's a whole thing to be aware of, I suppose. All right, let's get over here. Oh, yeah. This we're gonna need a smaller brush. There's a part of me that wants to play Rick and Morty D&D. Anybody played it? I am gonna tell you something, but you can't be mad. I've only seen half an episode of Rick and Morty. Does that make me a fake nerd? I don't think it does. There's lots of things nerds can be into. Everybody's always like, Anne, what's wrong with you? Why haven't you seen Rick and Morty? And I'm like, I am busy. But I've heard that it's really well written and a lot of fun for fans of it. I'm still working through the Acquisitions Incorporated campaign with my group, but we had to stop because we meet in person. Whoa, hype train emote. What's happening? Woo, hype train emote. Good Lord. All right, so here we go. You can see I'm just kind of gently touching the silver to the sword. Just a gentle touch. Then I gotta, you know what? I'm just gonna pour some of this out. Your kids watch it, which is the only reason you've seen any of it. Yeah, I hear that. I do know that it's good, right? Like, I understand that it's good. I've just never seen it. Like, in a way that is consistent. It's on my list. It's on my list, everybody. No, I literally love how I'm acting like everybody's like, Anne, what's wrong with you? And literally no one in this chat is fussed by the fact that I haven't seen it. They're not bothered. They're not bothered. So folks, while you're here, by the way, while I wait for this to dry a little bit before I apply another coat of paint, I'm going to throw a link in the chat to my YouTube channel so that you guys can see the new video that's going to go up tomorrow. So make sure you drop by there and just give me a quick sub. It should be a good time. This past week, I was dealing with a lot of agoraphobia feels of feeling like I couldn't leave the house, and it all kind of came to a head. So I did a vlog about me challenging myself to leave the house every day for 7 days, obviously with a focus on being safe. But it's a pretty wholesome little vlog. My patrons have already had access to it. I know Analog Amber has seen it because she liked the post on Patreon. But I'm really excited about the little vlogs and stuff. I'm gonna do some after my hair video, which will be next week's video. There will be some Paizo focused content for Gen Con. I'm so glad you like them, Amber. I worked really hard on them, and I love editing videos. It's something I was really missing. And I will tell you, being in control of the content, because I've only ever edited videos for somebody else. I've never just, like, done it for my own voice, like, artistic voice. And so it's really fun to do that. I will tell you, it is very fun. Some of the stuff on that channel is going to be vlogs. There'll be more highlight reels and stuff like that from this too, now that I have the time for it, for sure. I got a push notification on my phone just then that was very confusing, because it was basically telling me that something was happening on my YouTube, but it was just it telling me that this video was live on my YouTube page. So now I feel a little stupid, but it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's cool. Lee says, sadly I must depart, but you're awesome. Your new hair is bomb. Thank you so much. Looking forward to partying it up on Sunday in Strad. Bye, Lee. I love you. Thank you so much, Doc. I really appreciate it. It's a fun time. There's also, like, some very old Anne content on there, some of which I should probably make private. Not because it's problematic, but because it's embarrassing. Okay. I've avoided the eyes for long enough. And as they say, the eyes have it. So it's time. It's time, She keeps saying to herself, not wanting to do the thing. It's time to do the eyes. So I'm going to go ahead and take this ghost white here. What I usually do is block out the eyes in white and then put like some black on top. But because dogs don't have like human eyes, especially on the small dogs, I usually just try to get like a darker color into the place that's the eye, and then do like a dot of white as the highlight color. So that's what I'm going to attempt. I think that's what I'm going to attempt. Let me get a dark color. All right. We're going to attempt this. And this is the part where it becomes scream time, usually. Anybody who's ever painted a miniature has experienced this anxiety. It is not a fun time, but it is a time that we must all confront at long last. My friends. All right. Being said, with the Psycho brush, it is a little bit easier. I'm saying that, and then I'm gonna 100% fuck it up, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so we've darkened in the eyes. We're gonna wait for that to dry, and then we'll just try and pop a teeny little, just white little boop dot. Jeez, I'm just punching my mic repeatedly, which I'm sure is incredible audio content. Incroyable. All right, I now want to take more of this aqua color, and I'm gonna do some more highlights on the blue stuff. This is the part of things where it kind of speeds up a little in some ways, which is nice because I feel like it hits a lull. So this was my original detail brush. It's not actually that small. I found it to be very fluffy, and so I always think that it is really good for dry brushing on really small areas. So like I have these little arrows down here, and I think it's pretty good for that kind of thing. So this is one of Murder's more terrifying compositions, I think. There's like a weird sound of a I think we're already past this point in the song, but there's a point where there's like a weird like fence swinging. There's a weird swinging in the background of it, and it really scares me. All right. I think that looks pretty good. Here, we'll show them off a little bit. And then we're going to try and get all that really super dark black off of the Psycho brush so that it can pick up the white and not contaminate it, which can be a bit of a problem sometimes. Okay, so details. This might be just a way of me avoiding having to put these eyes in this teeny tiny dog, but much like, can't believe I'm about to say this sentence, shooting a gun or an arrow, you want to steady your breathing, take a couple deep breaths so you're not holding your breath until you've kind of fed yourself some oxygen. And then when I get ready to go in, I'm going to breathe in, and then I'm going to hold my breath while I just carefully dab in the eye. So I'm fully saturating the brush, and then I'm just leaning it against the side of the pan until I get a really good point, like this. There's not enough product on the brush. This is where you really got to be patient. No! Remember when I said patient and then I wasn't? Alright. It's okay. It's really not as bad as it could have been. So here's what I ended up with. I didn't have enough product on the brush, and then I had way too much product on the brush. And now I've completely whited out his entire eyes. Not like his eyes in the socket, which is good. So I saved it a little bit. But yeah, this is one of those things that just sucks about miniature painting, because you have the entire rest of the mini, but this one moment is part of what makes a miniature look progressively good or bad. So now I'm going in with the little black around the edges. Is it bad? Question mark. I don't think it is. I think it's okay. Not my best work, but not my worst merch. My worst work. Good Lord. Hashtag marketing. Buy my book. All right. So now it's time for another round of washes. We're going to start with sepia wash on the leather portions. I was going to use this big fluffy brush, but I think it's too big at this point. I'm going to have to go in with this angled brush is going to be good to just kind of, this is a dry brush, but I also, why isn't this showing where I want? So this is a dry brush, but I also will use it if I just want to try and get wash into very particular areas, because it's very stiff and hard, and that's very sexual without meaning to be. But it's not that kind of show, everybody, or is it? I don't know. Maybe sometimes, I guess we haven't talked about the butthole today. Not yet. Usually these dogs all have some kind of situation where that comes up, but hole, that is not been a thing. So right now, rather than putting the wash everywhere, I'm just kind of using the edge here to just put it around the edge of the cowl. Similarly, I'm going to do the same thing up here. I'm just going to, damn it, lean this brush into that little ridge. And against the bottom one as well, so that I'm not just constantly taking the highlights I create and then undoing them by putting wash over them. That is especially important with the small dogs because there's less space. So you need to be able to show more contrast in a smaller area. That is something that really helps when you have like, if you're painting like a dog, one of these dogs from Steamforged, but also if you have like a familiar, the high contrast makes a big difference. I'm also going to take this and press it in against the side of the sword instead of painting over the sword, and in between the two little pouches on his back. I'll do it in between the arrows as well. Oh, that was way more product on there than I thought. That's okay. You can definitely use your brush like a sponge if you do that. There you go. So you can start to see those arrows are standing out a lot more against his back, for sure. And then the other place I want to do it is along the curvature of the buckler. So you can see there. All right, now we need to do what we did before, which is to water down some sepia wash. So I'm going to put more water than I think I need. Right now I'm doing about 50-50 on water versus wash. And if I'm curious about the color, I'll just pull it across the white part of my palette to see how brown it is. Because again, I don't want to completely destroy the white portions of the dog, right? So similarly, I'm taking that brush and I'm putting it right along the bottom here to create a shadow. I'm not painting over the entire leg. I'm gonna put it at the base of the tail and then drag it up, not through the whole tail, but it'll kind of like create less and less pigment as it goes along. The stronger the bristles, the better, says Shiz for dry brushing. Yes. It is a dry brush, technically, but I don't always use it that way. It depends on what I'm painting. Sometimes I want a fluffier dry brush. This is like too hard to pull across some of the smaller dogs, I feel. But that's just how I'm using it. That's everything I tell you guys is certainly not a hard and fast rule. It's how I've gotten the results I get. Hi, kitty. Can I help you? The kitty is here. Oh, yes. Correct. Yes. It is labeled as a dry brush, and I do use it for that on particular things. Usually, like, if I'm going to paint, like, something with a lot of fur, this is, like, exactly what I would use. All right. Cool. Gonna need to put a little bit of silver on the edge of these arrows, but I think that's mostly good. And I'm going to go in with some Drakenhof Nightshade Cat. What do you want? You have had food. Surely you cannot be asking for food. Similarly, I'm just gonna go along the edge here, up close to the body, and then around the sides, but not the front. Very cute. He's very cute. I'll give him that, the little bastard. The little bastard. He's too cute. Alright. I need to reach over and get my matcha latte. We coming along here, guys. We're coming to the end of it. Whew. I think I need a little bit of detail brushing once this is dry, right on the like stitches on the side of his cowl, and along the, it needs like some brown along the shaft of the arrows, and then I think it's time to base. I think he looks pretty good. What do you guys think? Very nice, says Shiznit. Aw, of course, Guz. It's always my pleasure. It's such a blast having you around. Has it been a slog today? This, very nice. This has been a bit of a slog today for me, I think. It's not always like that, but today it has felt... Not the painting stream itself, but leading up. I was up late last night because I posted the wrong version. So I was rushing last night to get out my early access video for my patrons. And because hair took longer than I thought it would, it didn't, I was like running late, so it was really late by the time I got it out. Hey Darren, what's up? Over on Facebook, how's it going? So I got to the point that I was ready to post and upload the unlisted video to Patreon, and I was like, cool, now I get to like drink in the spoils of battle. And I went to watch it, and I noticed a mistake of an asset that I had dropped in to the editing bay that I forgot to delete, and I was like, motherfuck. But by then, for some reason, most of my patrons at that tier were up because people, I think it had like 7 views on it already. So I was like, well, goodbye 7 views, because I'm going to have to re-upload a different version of this. So then I had to redo it and then stay up to get everything done. So by the time I got to bed, it was about 2:30 in the morning. And then I was like, well, luckily... Then my brain was all wired, and I had to wait for all that stuff to upload and process. So while it was doing that, I set up the stream for today because my thinking was, depending on how late I stay up, I can then sleep more in the morning. It has been a day. Just seems like it's never going to end. Yeah, I feel that. I have a lot of anxiety about my D&D game tonight because I made such a strong choice. Oh my god, you guys, my cat is just licking my... Oh my god, you're so cute, but you're so mean. And also, this is mine. It's not yours. But yeah, the struggle, really, honestly, a lot of the time, is simply that I need a firm schedule. But that sometimes it doesn't happen if there's something to rush to get done. All right, cool. All right, I think we are going to go in now that the wash is dry enough on the cowl with some highlight on the stitching. I think it'll be white. Let's put white. So I have this. You're not going to like the name of it. It's called Maggot White. Hey, D-Stack! What's the best / your preferred venue for us to support you? Patreon, Twitch Labs donation, or Twitch subs / bits? That is a great question. I think there are a lot of options, obviously. I think the best thing to do really depends on what you're able to do, right? So Patreon is there for people who want to have a consistent way of donating at different tiers and getting back different rewards. So if what you want is more content from me, then you can get that through Patreon. And it's also where I see the biggest bang for the buck, if that makes sense. But it's also really important for me to have subscribers on Twitch, and if what you can do is throw a Twitch Prime sub, then that's a great place to help me out, because for Twitch creators, unless you're making $100, then Twitch doesn't cut you a check. You still, that money accrues, and over time, then when you have a month where you do, they'll send it to you. But so that is something to consider, I think. And then I'm no longer really pushing Streamlabs donations because there's just too many different things. So honestly, Twitch subs and bits or Patreon, depending on what you want. Some people are like, I like you and I want to throw you a Twitch Prime sub, or I want to throw you a Twitch sub, but I have too much content to get through and I don't want more content. And so Patreon is kind of like a lot for them to process. But it depends on what you're looking to get out of the content. Does that help answer your question? Patreon has a lot of cool options. I'll tell you that much. Since you asked, I'll do a little bit of an overview of what I have there. Patreon at different levels is going to give you access to a weekly podcast, which is usually like a 30-minute conversation. Yeah, it's a sea of choices. And it's not that, like, you can't tip on Streamlabs. I have to go through my backlog of items that I need to sort of remove or change to help people choose more readily what's going to be best for them. But for a while I was using tips on Streamlabs, but I think so many of the people who are here already have bits or want to use bits. So I want to leave that option open to them for bits and subs. But I've kind of removed the focus on Streamlabs tipping, simply because it sort of falls outside of those areas and not everybody understands it or knows about it. But on Patreon, what you get is a weekly podcast from me at one level. If you sub, I think at $10 per month, what you get is a podcast from me, and you also get early access to the videos. And then at higher tiers, you get to pick miniatures that I'm going to be painting. Or at higher tiers than that, you can actually get a couple miniatures a year painted by me. And then at even higher tiers, you can have games dungeon mastered by me. Analog Amber is on that tier. There's a tier where you'll be, if we get enough people at that tier, we can do a show that I dungeon master on the channel with the patrons at that sub tier. And then there's another tier where if you pay at that level a couple times a year or every month, depending on which tier you select, I'll DM a game for you and up to six for you and up to 6 people total. So yeah, so there are a lot of options for everybody. Sorry to kind of drag you guys through through all of that, but if you go over to patreon.com/HearthsingerGames, which I'll throw in the chat here, so you can easily click it, you'll be able to kind of see what's available at different tiers there, and you can figure out what's going to work best for you. Yeah, of course. Well, and the thing is, like, D-Stack, thank you. I am so grateful for you guys being here, because that's number one. If you guys didn't come to the channel and help me start creating this community in February, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have reached affiliate, and I wouldn't have, you know, now I'm to the point where I'm pretty much getting a check for about $100 from Twitch, and sometimes a little bit more than that every month, which is a huge milestone, for sure. And I have regular... I'm so working up to having you GM a game. Absolutely, Guz, for sure. Like, I just feel, super, super grateful, for the fact that, you know, when I started doing this full time, so many people were like, okay, great, I have this, I'm ready. I'm ready to support. And, you know, D-Stack, you asking how you can support is so thoughtful. Most people just are like, I'm going to do this because that's what I'm going to do. Or they don't because they can't. But, you know, everything comes down to being here. At every level of support, being here is the most important thing. Because when you're here, you create the magic, you create the community with me, and then it brings more people in, which is always going to be the thing that is most important. So showing up to stream, or watching the VODs, or watching my YouTube videos, any of that stuff that you can do that costs nothing, making clips, all of that is super important. So if you're looking for, I always like to say there's a level of support for what I do for everybody. If that's showing up to stream and that's all you can do, that's number one. That's what I need as many people to do as possible. And if what you can do is, you know, put money towards me every month in some way where you get rewarded, like with Patreon, then that's great. And if what you can do is throw me your Twitch Prime sub, then that's also wonderful. I'm honestly shocked that anyone is here. I mean, I'm not shocked, right? It's not that I don't think I have anything to offer. But at every step of the way, I have underestimated the baby bards, and I keep saying I'm not gonna keep doing that. I'm gonna 100% estimate the shit out of you all. But that sounds very aggressive. But I don't mean it I mean it with all love and respect. But yeah, I never took the chance to bet on my own content. I was always like, I'm going to collaborate with other people, and I still love doing that. Don't get me wrong. I will always collaborate with other people and do charity streams and all that stuff. But being able to create what I like and have you guys support it, you know, I've been estimated. Dun, dun, dun. You know, that is the biggest thing of all. Because of a collab. Exactly. Shiz found me because of a collab, which is awesome. All right, so let's go ahead and put on some of these highlights now that the wash is dried. I'm gonna take, where's the true silver? It's here. Yeah. So I'm trying to find more collabs to do. You should see more. And like the other thing I really appreciate, and I have to say this, is that like when I then go to a collab, you guys show up. Like when Helena and I went to Manapot Studios the other night to play our Starfinder game with them, we saw so many of you in the channel or helping us retweet that we were gonna be on it, and like that was the most successful stream that they have had in months, because you guys showed up to support. And that is huge to me, because being able to say, yeah, I'll come and I'll bring my people with me. I never know if you guys are gonna be into it or come, and I don't always, you know, I'm not like you better be there, you know, but unless it's tongue-in-cheek and I tweet something like that. But you know, I don't take for granted that it's a choice for you guys to show up at whatever I'm doing, whether it's on this channel or in a collaboration somewhere else. So I just really appreciate it. It's huge, and they appreciate it and want to support us because you guys show up. So it really helps. So like I said, just being there is 100% enough if that's what you can do. It is one of the most important things. Because if I'm streaming by myself in here, it's not a super fun time. I remember when I first started trying to do Twitch, right? And I was in here painting miniatures, and I had to manufacture conversation or questions for chat by myself because there weren't people chatting. Try to schedule them earlier in the day. Sorry, I had to drop out because I need to do some sleep sometimes. No, it's totally fine. I totally understand. It's hard to do it earlier in the day because most other people are not. I'm a bit of a rarity in that I have, you know, I'm living on what I'm making on Patreon and what I make on this channel, and any pretty much any sponsored content I can get at this point, and savings, because I've just hedged my bets on this is what I'm doing now. That might be very dumb, but that's what I'm doing. So I can often stream, and I think you'll see me probably doing some bonus streams during the day. I'm thinking potentially, let's see, tomorrow is Wednesday. Potentially tomorrow, if once I finish everything I need to finish, popping on and streaming in the early afternoon, maybe after Miles is done. Some Monster Hunter, perchance, or maybe some KOTOR, not sure. But yeah, when Mark, who guested on Starfound, is in Japan. Yeah. All right, so you can see I did a little bit of a highlight on the arrow tips. What I need to do now is a little bit of highlight on the pommel of the sword. And the crossguard tips. And Guz, I'm honored that you used me as an example to your friend as to how she could maybe start a stream. I think it takes a lot of time to kind of learn this. It's a weird set of skills, for sure, but I am feeling more and more comfortable every day, making less and less just production mistakes every day, and it's really, really fucking fulfilling. I think it's, honestly, when I'm here doing stuff with you guys and playing games with you, that's like the happiest and most creative that I am, which is why I was like, you know what? I need to bet on me. I need to make a Patreon, and I need to, like, have this be what I do. And so that's why I overcommitted. We're in a committed relationship, chat. We committed out here. All right, let me grab a little bit of the blonde color. This is this amber gold. Really good for blonde-haired characters, doing this as the base and then white as the highlight. Looks really good, but I'm using it for the little what am I trying to say? Arrows. I put a little bit too much water in there. Whoopsies. Whoopsie doops. Whoopsie doopsies. I think, you know, Twitch can be an easier way for content creators than YouTube at times, because YouTube requires that you know how to edit, right? And not everybody does. And the nice thing about this is when it's done, it's done. It doesn't require, it requires post and pre-production in some ways in order to take the most advantage of making content on this platform. But in order to just get started with something and see if you like it, it's more of a monetary and time investment in terms of like learning how to use OBS and Streamlabs and all the other tools that can be helpful. And I'm still learning that. One of the big things that I'm trying to figure out, sorry, I fucked up one of the arrows. It's fine, it's not that bad. Figure out right now is closed captioning. One of my friends is a huge advocate for accessibility, which is not to say that I don't care about accessibility, but she's like, you really need to have captioning on your channel. And she says it every single time I talked to her, and she's right. You know, most of what I'm doing when we out here is advocating. And, you know, at some point you gotta work a little harder to make sure more people can sit at the table, if that makes sense. So I gotta take some time this week and get that set up. I did some research last night. I gotta figure out where I'm gonna put it on the screen. I'm thinking in the like place that's below me where you see the floating stars across. Do you guys like the animated background? I kind of like it, but I don't know if it's too much. You guys can let me know. All right, there we go. Look at that. It's got 3 little stitches there. And then little stitches on the other side. Do I have any more things that need that? I think. Oh, it's not. It's good. It is distracting, and it's 100% you. The most distracting. No, it's not so glad. It's not distracting. Got it. All right. I gotta get. There are a couple buckles that I gotta get with like the silver. And then I think we're done and ready to do Guz's favorite thing. I edited too far. Yeah, I've been there, my friend. I've been there, my friend. Honestly, Shiz, thank you so much for the frames, because I think the frames really make it. What I definitely want to work on with you, I think next, is making a frame for the bigger screen, right? The one that's like the side, the like either the game or where the miniature is. But the frame that I've now been able to put around me, and then like on the other one, it's so they just make it look so much more polished. It's like really, it's enhanced my vibes in a major way. So thank you so much for supporting me and making me cool stuff. He also made really cool stuff for Miles as well, which has been awesome. And see, that's another way. Like, if there's some way that you guys are creative and you can help, it's so good. The snow, says Guz. Right? It looks so great. It's so good. I feel, you know, more and more I'm figuring out, like, what needs to be on the screen and what doesn't. What the necessary, like, you know, D-Stack, when you ask me, like, what's the best way? Like, I've actually had a lot of time to think about, like, okay, you can't ask people to do too many things. So if you're going to provide multiple ways to support, right? Like, merch is one way where you guys, I think it's much better if you get something for giving something, right? So even if I make less on each transaction, I'd rather, if you're going to do a one-off transaction, push you towards buying a piece of merch where you, like, save and then get something that you then get and can take into the world and represent your time that you spend on the channel and remember it. Just throwing, you know, if we're ever going to do donations, I think, like, just straight up donations are good for charity efforts, which we'll definitely do more of on the channel, right? Because we've all, some of us have found each other because of those things. So I definitely don't want to stop doing that. It's important to me, and always has been. So, yeah. And then, you know, with Patreon, again, that's more about, like additional, if you want even more of this mug, and stuff like that. It's that's one other way to do it for sure. So it's all about figuring out what options I can give you that are actually different from each other and help like deliver an experience to you guys rather than just being like, give me it, which I hate. Hell yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, I think, remember when I said I was done, but then I wasn't, because what I really think is missing here is a little bit of highlight. I'm missing a little bit of highlight. I'm gonna mix this with a little bit of the, fuck. Oh, it's on the ground. I was like, where is it? And then I remembered it was the one that was on the ground. La, 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 la. There we go. All right, and then, where's that dry brush? Oh, man. All right, and we're gonna go here. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the stuff. All right, let's get snowing. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. When we finally kiss goodnight. How I hate to go out in the storm. But if you really hold me tight, all the way home I'll be warm. While the fire is slowly dying. And my dear, what is Nightbot doing? Jesus Christ. It's all... Nightbot is getting a little excited. I might have to look at the settings there. Sorry, guys. And my dear, we're still goodbying. But as long as you love me so, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. When we finally kiss. That's why don't I remember the rest of that song? It is a good Christmas song, huh? It's a holiday classic. One thing I've been thinking about doing is, because I gotta figure out what my patron only stream should be, I might do a little concert stream with my uke and do some music, because I haven't like gotten to just sing through a bunch of material in a while that I planned and practiced, and I feel like that would be good for me creatively. And I haven't sung any of my original songs in a while, and I write a lot of this stuff. So this is Citadel Technical Paint in Valhallan Blizzard, and it's just a textured paint-like product that you can shove onto the base, and then it takes a few hours to dry. So you definitely, once you get it sculpted the way you want, you don't want to mess with it. All the way home I'll be warm. The thing that I like about it is you can kind of build it up into snowdrifts too. And you just kind of press it into place. But of course, the more that you put on, right, the more that more time that it's gonna need to dry. So definitely something to look out for. Yeah, let me know what you think about this, because this is something I've been thinking about, and this is, this is your community too. But basically what I've been thinking is once we get done with this follower goal, there might be another follower goal giveaway in the future, but what I'm thinking about doing is having subscription goals that result in giveaways, right? And that would just mean like the next 10 subscribers, unlock a new giveaway or whatever it is, right? And that, I think, because I want everything to have some kind of reward attached to it. Not that people don't just want to give out of their hearts, right? But I think that'll be what goes in that bottom left-hand corner will be, a subscriber based giveaway. And then that'll have its own kind of like deal, as opposed to what you get from Patreon or what you get from anything else. Because I don't like, what I haven't liked about my streams in the past is when the whole screen is just cluttered with meters, right? Like, it should be about the content that's happening and not all of that. Oh my god, me too. Me too, re-Christmas music. Look at this little snowy boy. Hold on, I got a little snow on his legs. I'm gonna carefully take that off while it isn't glued to him. Cool. But yeah, this is much more balanced, right? Where it's like, listen, here's a little meter at the bottom, here's a thing you can do, but the rest of it is just content. And that's what the focus should be at all times. So yeah, so I don't know. These are things I think about late at night when I'm trying to decide what to do with my days. All right, so let me show you off here. Here is our sweet Jacques, the Jack Russell fighter. Look at him, he's so cute. He's so cute. I love him. I woof 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 love him. Oh, so adorbs. Cool. So I will take some final pictures of Jacques and put them up on Instagram and Twitter. So I know sometimes it's a little bit hard to see all the finer points, but I'll take those photos and get those up. For now, I think we should figure out who to raid and kind of wrap things up for today. But this has just been so fun. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out and letting me live my best Bob Ross miniature painting life. It is always so fun. And I look forward to it every week. I'm so sorry we couldn't do it last week because my eyes hurt real bad. But now they're okay. And that's good. Yay! Everybody's using their emotes in chat. Go give us some love on the Discord. If you're not on our Discord, come join us. Awesome gamers reside there looking for people to play with, all sorts of things. So absolutely great. And come hang out again. I suppose the next time I'll for sure be on stream is Thursday night at 7 p.m. Eastern, playing Starfinder in the classic Starfinder homebrew adventure, Starfound. But I might be on tomorrow for a bonus stream. It just depends on how much I get done. And then Friday, I'll be back with Frontline Friends in the evening, and Saturday afternoon, we'll be playing more. If you ever want to know what my whole schedule is, go ahead and have a look at HearthsingerGames.com. Yes, go check out that strem from GCP. All right, I'm going to go to the end screen, find somebody for us to raid, and you go give them the good baby bard business, okay? Give them the business. Wait, I'm back? What? Just kidding. Just kidding. I didn't. Okay, let's try this again. I just couldn't leave you. I can't leave you.